Hi there folks, Rath here from Tabletop Minis and welcome to a Q&A. So it's been a long time since we've done a Q&A, so I'm just making this video to start again basically. If you guys have got any questions, just stick them below in the comments. And then when I do the next one, what I'll do is I'll go through all these comments and then try and answer the questions. And it just brings up lots of stuff to discuss, and any questions you guys might have, usually quite fun to do them. So this one will probably be quite quick, just a bit of a chit chat, what's going on. I've got a tournament coming up, Winter War down in Dunfermline. I'm going to that at the start of November, so maybe talk a little bit about that and some of the new and, well, relatively new Age of Sigmar stuff, which is, well, a lot of it's quite new to me because it's been 6 months I've been kind of away from the hobby, and then coming back. Catching up has been a really interesting time, so maybe just a little talk about that, and then, yeah, we can use this as a kind of base point to you guys ask questions, and then I can answer them in the next one. So what's going on? We've got there's this tournament coming up. I don't usually go to tournaments. I went to a Blood Bowl tournament earlier in the year, but generally I'm not really a tournament player. I more kind of play games at home or in a gaming club. That's not Games Workshop usually, because I kind of like more the laid back atmosphere where not so many time restraints and a nice cup of tea and stuff while you're playing that, which is difficult if you're in a Games Workshop or somewhere like that. So this tournament coming up, it's Age of Sigmar using the General's Handbook, so it's matched play. 2,200 points is the army limit. We're going to use I think it's called the Warhost, the 2k restrictions, so 6 heroes, 4 behemoths and 4 artillery pieces. So I've been looking at all the new army lists. I recently I bought the General's Handbook on the iPhone, and it's really good using the app. Like, I bought it through the app, so you can get the points values in there, so you can kind of look at all the war scrolls, how much they cost, unit sizes and so on. I was a little bit disappointed that you obviously don't get points and the battalions and stuff from the new the new battle tomes that have come out. So a lot of the quite powerful and competitive things that are happening in tournament lists these days, a lot of them are coming from the new battle tomes. So thing is, if you buy them in the app, then you don't have you don't have it in iBooks, and you don't have the hard copy. So it's kind of picking and choosing what you want. And for me, usually I like the hard copies. So I think I'm going to buy all the books that I can, all of the battle tomes at least, and the General's Handbook obviously in hardback. And then on the phone I've got the General's Handbook, and that gives most of the points for the armies that I have, and the war scrolls there as well. So that's quite useful. I thought I was really impressed with the app actually. I thought it was really useful. And I've also had some time to actually read through the General's Handbook, or some of the General's Handbook, mainly the match play stuff, the competitive stuff, which is the biggest change since General's Handbook come out, and all the new rules. And also had a look into, I've been watching some videos as well on YouTube of some of the tournaments that have gone on with the General's Handbook, Warlords, down at Warhammer World, and some other things, and just trying to get an idea of what sort of lists people are taking in the tournaments. And I think in this tournament in November we've got about 30 people for Age of Sigmar. They're running other game systems as well, 40k, bolt action and some other stuff, but for Age of Sigmar they've got about 30 people, and a few of the names in there I've seen them in a lot of other tournaments in their kind of attendance lists. So I think there's going to be some competitive players there. It's not just going to be fluff. And first time doing a Age of Sigmar tournament, or a Warhammer tournament even, I kind of want to take something that I might have a chance of doing quite well with. So I'm looking at the models that I have and the army, trying to put together a list. It's only 4 weeks away, so not that much time. Not enough time really to start a brand new army and get everything painted and everything ready in that sense. So I'm more looking at the collection that I have and trying to figure something out. So I love High Elves. High Elves are my favorite Warhammer army, and I'm really excited about what they come out with for the. They've split the elves into all these different little factions, like Eldritch Council, I think there's one for like the Phoenix something, Phoenix Council, and like a lion something. So I hope they get fleshed out a bit more, and when they do, I'm definitely going to be collecting them armies. I'm definitely going to be buying them armies for sure, because I just love the kind of elf thematic, and right now they haven't really gave us much on that, but they definitely will. And in the meantime, I've got a whole load of High Elves, the old High Elves, to kind of use. The only disappointment really is that, you know, with the older armies, that they haven't released new battle tomes for. In terms, their power level doesn't seem to be quite up there with the new armies, like Bone Splitters. If you see, I think the Sedge, the guy who won Warlords, he was running like lots of Savage Orc Arab boys and buffing them up with all the synergies that go on with the characters, and you know, as well your allegiance abilities, and because your Bone Splitters, you get all them extra rules as well, so you can basically like pump up a huge unit of Arab boys and like put out three or 400 shots in one turn, which is just crazy, you know. There's also some other stuff with the Beastclaw Raiders, you know, being able to kind of like charge in there with huge heroes doing loads of damage, and I think the Iron Jaws have got a lot of new rules as well, so that they can get across the table quickly and in your face. So there's loads of really interesting stuff there on the new armies, or newer armies. Sylvaneth as well, you know, placing all these wildwoods down and being able to kind of, you know, teleport across the board through these wildwoods with their treemen and come out and do some really interesting stuff. So I've not really had much chat. You know, we've played a lot of Age of Sigmar, but we've generally played older armies, you know, Skaven, dwarfs, High Elves, some of the new Chaos stuff, but not all of it, or not a whole lot of it. Chaos is such a big army, and there's, you know, now that you've got the Ever Chosen, you've got, you know, all these kind of like sub-factions within Chaos. There's quite a lot of stuff there that we've not been able to, or I've not been able to see on the table. So, you know, because I don't regularly play at a club either, where you've got lots of people coming in with different armies that you can kind of take a look at and, you know, understand how how effective they are on the board. I'm not sure if I'm already disadvantaged by saying that, you know, I'm going to go into the tournament with a High Elf list, but I am willing to give it a go. It's first tournament, so I'm not worried about if I if I don't do that well. It'll be a good experience, I'm sure. See a lot of different armies as well, and meet some people. I think it'll be a pretty great experience. There's one thing that I really want to do is attend more events, not just gaming events, but like painting events, and get down to Warhammer World at some point. Maybe do Golden Demon next year. I'd like to, if I can, time permitting. But attending these tournaments, I mean, with General's Handbook, you know, we've been quite happy playing Age of Sigmar without any additional rules and stuff, but it is so much better, I think, with the points, because then you can think about your army lists. You know, like I've found myself over the last since I decided I was going for this tournament, I'm constantly thinking about, well, what if I actually change this? What if I bring this? How much will I have points for that? Oh, but I need the 3 battle line units, so who should I use in my battle line units? You know, for the High Elves, we've got Elrian Reavers, Spearmen, or Silverhelms, and none of them are particularly great. Elrian Reavers are really good, but they're 160 points for 5 models. So if you take a minimum sized unit of 5 and you need 3 of them, that's already quite a lot of points into cavalry, and they've only 5 up save with 2 wounds, so they're not that tanky either. So there's loads of stuff that I'm kind of processing with the General's Handbook. So I think it's an amazing change. I've actually been, since looking into it more, the more and more I look into the rules and the new stuff that's come out, the more and more excited I am about playing Age of Sigmar, and you know, making my collection go further as new stuff comes out. So yeah, what have I been painting recently? Well, this week or the last couple of days, I've been painting Eltharion. I'm not 100% sure whether I'll be using him or not, but I've got a pretty well, I think I will be using him. He's what he does is he's got a general ability that buffs a unit, so they get +1 to wound. So what I'm thinking about doing, I've got a couple of different ideas going around in my head for what sort of list I want to take. My initial list was going to be this guy is my general, then have a unit of 30 archers, high elf archers, have battle line units, have 2 units of, 1 unit of not liberators, 1 unit of judicators, 1 unit of glade guard, and 1 unit of Elrian reavers. So, and then to back them up, I would have an artillery battery of basically a grudge thrower, organ gun, and also a cannon, and have them in a battery with an engineer who buffs them up so they can reroll jams and some other stuff. The grudge thrower gets an extra shot. So the idea would be to have, and also I think I had another unit of 20 archers in there. So really shooty list basically, with this guy buffing up to wound rolls mainly on the archers unit, and then having the artillery battery with quite long range. So I should be able to kind of hold back and outshoot my opponent most of the time, and then just really try and whittle him down by the time he gets into near close combat. I'll still have Eltharion who can go forward. He's really strong. He's a bit of a beat stick. So a little bit of damage from him. But I actually tested this list out. I played my friend Martin on the other night, and we were just playing. It was actually the first time playing without camera, recording a game for quite a while as well, which was quite interesting, because it's just a lot less work when you're not having to manage a camera. And I was playing his Nurgle Chaos, and it went pretty well. The shooting was really strong. It was taking quite a lot of stuff off the table. He didn't have any shooting really, so turn 1 and 2 I was taking off a lot of his army off the table. By the time we got to turn 3 and 4 though, when he was starting to get units into close combat, things were getting a bit I don't really have anything in my list that can do much close combat other than this guy, and he was getting piled on by like 3 different units. So I'm not sure if it's balanced enough. It is very shooty, and shooting is really strong, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure whether the list's balanced enough. A lot of bodies on the table as well, which is good for capturing objectives. So the tournament that I'll be playing in is 3 games. We're playing, I believe it's Blood and Glory. The other one with the meteor that comes down on each side of the table, and I can't remember what the third one was. It might have been Border War, but you need to have bodies to get to these objectives. And I think having the Elrian Reavers as part of the battle line is quite a good solution for they can shoot. They actually can shoot 3 times each, as long as you're not within 3 inches of the enemy. So they're still part of the shootiness of the army, but they've got the mobility to kind of get forward and capture objectives. And if they have to get into close combat, they're not terrible. They can do a little bit of damage there as well. They're just really expensive points wise. So I'm not sure if that's how I'm going to go, or that was kind of a mixed list of some Stormcast dwarfs and High Elves. Another option would be to go High Elf only, and in that list that I made, I was thinking about maybe using 4 repeater bolt throwers with a big unit of 30 archers, with 3 units of Elrian Reavers as my battle line, units of 5 each. Again, quite a lot of points go into that. And then having, I could possibly take Prince Imric on his dragon. Now he's really strong. He's 440 points, so he's a lot of points, this guy. But the dragon does some pretty crazy damage, so he could be really effective with him and Eltharion together as 2 behemoths, and well, potential to be generals. Either I could make him my general, and then the command ability would be he can reroll to wound on or to hit on the dragon's attacks, which is quite nice, but again a lot of points. But then it would be a High Elf only army. So yeah, I'm not really quite sure how the list's going to go. I do like the Glade Guard as an option for battle line, but they are quite expensive. Well, actually, they're not too expensive. 120 points for 10. but I've actually only got 16 of them at the moment, so I'd need to buy another box if I wanted to go 3 units of Glade Guard as the battle line. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Just chewing all over my head what I'd like to take. You know, if I played the High Elf list, I don't know if I mentioned it, I would have 4 repeater bolt throwers in my artillery. I like the idea of filling out the artillery slot as much as possible, so that you've got the ability to sit back a little bit and kind of, you know, if it's a slow melee army, you can kind of maybe shoot them off the objectives before they get to you, which is nice. You know, if you're going against chaos like blood warriors, stuff like that, if you enter into combat with them, then even if you kill them, they get to attack you before they die, so it's better to try and shoot off units like that. So yeah, quite a lot of different options there. Just, it's really interesting, you know, just chewing it all over my head. There's also been some new stuff come out. I don't know if you've seen on Fate 212, the Coronate Dragon, this new Forge World resin model. Is huge. It almost reminds me of Smog in terms of size, but I don't really know whether it's smaller or bigger than Smog, but it is an absolute huge model. So it's nice to see Forge World are putting some time and investment into Age of Sigmar models as well. And we had them Famir warriors and some other stuff, which is quite interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much what's coming up. I've got a lot of ideas chewing over in my head about you know, where Age of Sigmar is going, and you know, in terms of armies, you know, they're kind of, it looks like all the new battle tomes and the synergies and the abilities that you get from the battle tome being a lot more competitive than the older ones. They're kind of, eventually these older armies are kind of phased out. I don't know whether you're really even going to see them playing much, because they're really not very competitive with the new stuff. And the new stuff's really good. The models are really good. The rules are really good. You know, a lot of the depth to Age of Sigmar, I think, is coming from right now is coming from the, you know, the synergizing units and heroes and stuff together to make things work. You know, if you don't put any thought or time into that in your list building, I don't think, you know, you're really going to have that strong an army. So I really want the new stuff, the new elf stuff, to be out soon, so that I can invest in the new stuff, but it's stuff that I really want. So yeah, I don't know. I might start like a Bone Splitters army, or maybe a Beastclaw Raiders or something, just to get some, or Sylvaneth, to get them on the table, like some of the newer armies, rather than just playing the old stuff until elves come out, because we don't really know when the elves are going to come out. For sure, I think the elves are going to be a huge release, because they're such a well-followed army, and I think they're going to be hugely popular. And looking at kind of the new models that have come out, like Elariel and some other things, I'm sure that the new elf models are just going to, you know, knock the ball out of the park. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm kind of thinking about all the new stuff, where to go. But you know, I've got so many armies, or so many bits and bobs that are unpainted. I'm kind of trying to hold off a little bit until, you know, I've kind of caught up with my backlog a bit. But at the same time, trying to get as many games of Age of Sigmar as I can in. You know, we've also got these other game systems, 40k, Horus Heresy and stuff, but there's just so much to do and so much to paint and play. So I think I'm kind of going to be focused on Age of Sigmar for at least the next wee while. Yeah, I mean, we've got Blood Bowl coming out end of November, I think. If you look on the Warhammer World website, they've got an event going at Warhammer World. I think it's the 26th and 27th of November on that weekend, where they're running a Blood Bowl tournament. And I think this is because obviously Blood Bowl, I think, is getting released on the 25th, or that was one of the big dates that Games Workshop staff, I think, were told to, you know, make themselves available. So I've got a feeling Blood Bowl will come out on 25th, and then the tournament's on 26th and 27th. So definitely be getting a copy of that as well. I really love Blood Bowl, playing Blood Bowl. So yeah, loads of stuff to kind of absorb and do. Yeah, just enjoying catching up with it. I think I'm even more optimistic about Age of Sigmar now than I have been over the last year since it came out, because of the General's Handbook bringing back constructed play, which a lot of people, you know, appreciate. And you know, when you're playing strangers or pickup games, stuff like that, it is really important that you have you know, you have a kind of something that you can guide your army selection, and to get a reasonably fairly balanced game. You know, it was done slightly through different comp systems, Clash Comp, what else was it? There was a couple other ones going around, but it's good to have one release from Games Workshop that says, you know, this is how you do it. And yeah, all them other things, army list selection and stuff's back in play. So yeah, just that's it, quick update. My friend who I've got the board with, we've been playing in his garage, he's away on holiday soon, so I'm not sure how many battle reports I'll actually be able to put out. I'll try and do as much as I can though, and maybe I'll find some more opponents as well while he's on holiday, so hopefully the battle report side of things won't go completely quiet. But I am really pumped about getting more games of Age of Sigmar, so you know, playing different lists, doing some tournament practice before the start of November. Maybe I'll be able to cover some of the tournament. I'm not sure if you know, tournament environment's not the best for recording, and so I might just take some photos and kind of talk through how the tournament went, or something like that. But it's still sort of 3-4 weeks off, so a bit of time there. And yeah, so I've got a bit of painting to do. If I do go for the Elrin Reavers options, my battle line and the archers, I need to paint some High Elves. It's a good excuse actually to paint the High Elves because we've got such a big army, but you know, sometimes you get a bit overwhelmed by how many models need painting and you don't have any clear direction. So with the tournament coming up, if I make the list, it kind of gives me a reason to steer into painting these and painting these. So yeah, that'll be a good thing as well. What else is new or interesting to talk about? I guess that basically covers it. So yeah, leave your questions below for the next Q&A, and yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and we'll see you again next time.